which for Comic-Con is cosplaying as movies. So everyone's eating movies right now, hater tots. I myself am a big fan of the vegan cheesesteak, which is absolutely amazing, and I invented a sandwich called the Pillow Pants, yes. Don't wait for a fucking restaurant to let you name a sandwich. Create a restaurant, name whatever the fuck you want, kids. We're doing streaming daily. We did a show last night. Today and tomorrow we're doing quick 1 hour updates in case anything cool has happened at the con and stuff. Has anything cool happened at the con so far?
Well,
Right there. Fucking.
That lady is happy.
Yeah, oh my God, what con are you at? I want to go there.
Yeah, I went today. I went onto the floor. I went to a fucking panel like I used to do when I was a normal person.
Really?
Yeah.
Just interacted with the normies and shit?
It's that thing where, like, in the olden days, the royalty used to slum it going into the bazaar to see what it's like for the average person to try and buy dates
Put on
or whatever.
a cloak and fucking throw some dirt in your face and walk the streets and shit?
That's exactly what I did. I left my
Joined us plebes.
I left my cloak in the Uber on my way over, but I went to the Marvel Studios animation panel today.
Fucking A, man. Now, where were they? Where'd they do it?
That was in the big ballroom 20.
Fucking A. And
Yeah.
you had to wait in line for that? We have a goddamn show where we talk about Marvel all the time. Nobody was like, you, fucking Fat Man Beyond, get the fuck in here.
No, and I'm also not that guy to be like, excuse me, Fat Man Beyond. Please, I'd like to go to the head of the line.
Well, neither am I, but I dress the part. You know, I can walk around like Silent Bob going, I hope this gets me invited in.
Yeah, I need a uniform.
I was thinking today, at one point, I was busting through the hotel fucking lobby, and I move very quick for a larger person and stuff. People say that all the time, like, God damn, you're fast. In the way that, like, you shouldn't be, but, like, I am. I move very briskly. And if you catch me, I'll totally take a picture and shit, but I'm like a leprechaun. You got to catch me first.
Oh, I've tried to keep up with you at an airport. And it is fucking rough.
Yeah, I tend to go very fucking
Because what they don't tell you is, when you're a heavy person, every day is leg day.
Yes.
And then if you lose that weight, you're a fucking rocket ship.
My wife is always fond of talking about what she refers to as my quote-unquote guns, and naturally they're not up here, it's my calves. She spends a lot of time in life around me, and she's like, God damn, your calves are fucking toned. Which always, I hear the comment behind the comment, which is like, why can't you tone the rest? But she don't care. She's a big fan and shit. However, as I was briskly going through the hotel lobby, I had this like sense of gratitude and thanks for the fact that a lot of people come to Comic-Con and they like dress up. Like they pick up somebody and they cosplay. I literally get to cosplay myself. Like I just put on a Silent Bob coat, backwards hat, and fucking go through. And 3 times today, people were like, that's the best Silent Bob here. And I felt really proud of that, you know? Because I don't know if they knew who I was or not, but I agree with them. I am the best Silent Bob here. This, however, may be the second best Silent Bob here, ladies and gentlemen. The good folks at Big Shots are making these pillows that, look, pull the J one over. And they're big. They sent one to my house. Look at you working it like a puppet. Well done. We could do a whole show. I gotta do the booch. You know what? I'll do the writing. Fuck off. They sent me big ones like this. They got like a Buddy Christ as well, and they got a bag of weed and stuff. But don't they look like the wrestling buddy pillows from back in the day? When they showed me, like, we want to make these, I was like, fuck yeah. And my kid saw the prototype, and my kid is real cringed about everything I do that has my face on it. So anytime I wear a shirt with my face on it, she's like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I was like, I can't expect a motherfucker to buy a shirt with my face on it if I'm not willing to wear it first. Here's a pair of Jane Silent Bob underwear for you to wear. And she turned that down so fucking hardcore. She's like, I don't wear you on this part of my body. Why the fuck would I wear you down there and shit? But yeah, man, it's breathing rarefied fucking air when you get to walk around and like there are people that cosplay as you, but I get to kind of cosplay as me too. It's fun. I'm my own fucking character. We've been selling a bunch of stuff at San Diego Comic-Con, and so we've had wonderful partnerships with Spirit Jersey, made some tremendous fucking clothes for us, man, as well as the good folks at Roosevelt's made some fucking beautiful clothes for us as well. Before we dive into things, let me pull up JC. I'm sorry. Let me pull up fucking. I was looking that way. Let me pull up fucking Luke to tell us about what we have sold here at the Movies pop-up so far. It's a little self-serving, kids, but fucking, you know, that's what I do is self-serve. Give it up for Luke, everybody. Use the force. Luke has been selling merch for the last 2 days of the con. What are we selling? What sells the most?
Shirts like this.
Right.
There's Roosevelt.
The entire staff here is dressed in the Roosevelt stuff. Jake, bring your fucking sexy ass over on camera and show people what it looks like. The other one hurling, hawking merchandise at you is Jake. Give it up for Jake, everybody.
In the back. What?
Luke and Jake work in our office. They are also filmmakers as well. They work in the office part-time. In real life, they're filmmakers. Today, they're selling merchandise. This is what the Roosevelt shirt looks like. And there's a purple one that's designed like the movie smock as well. But the staff has been wearing them here all the time. And it's so lovely to walk in and just see like a bunch of shit where I'm like, I created that. I'm responsible for that. My name is on that. What has been selling the most since we've been here? I didn't know. We sell Movies Funko Pops, kids. I think we're the only people that sell the Movies Funko Pop. I've not seen them in like fucking Spencer Gifts or I never see our pops in the real world, man. I would like to think it's that, but I think they're like, we only made 9. And you have them all. What else is going?
You know those mall rats, the Trevor, Jay and the
We're going to give those out as prizes. Yeah, so tonight when we do, give them this one. Take this one. So tonight when we do the Q&A at the halfway point, man, we're going to give out that, and we're going to give out that. And what's the other one we're giving out? We're giving out that. So if you get to ask a question, Banff Man will let you in, and you might win one of these fine fucking prizes.
Ooh.
All right, boys, thank you. Give it up for the boys. They've been working their asses
Back we go.
Now,
Yeah.
I haven't done anything con-oriented today regarding others. Like I got up this morning, I went and did press at EW and did IGN. Then I went on the con floor at 1:30 and took pictures at the Lionsgate Quick Stop booth. But I've had my ear to the ground for news.
Yeah.
And as you said, you actually waited in a line on the ground.
I did.
For some fucking Marvel animated panel news. So I read it all on Twitter, but I'm glad you actually went, man. Like, because one of us was represented there.
We weren't, and I got to see the things that Twitter couldn't tell you that they saw.
Is that right?
Well, they screened an episode of I Am Groot, the little series of shorts.
How was it?
It's so fucking cute.
Is it?
It was this. The one they showed was Groot takes a bath. And it's like Groot and it's Vin Diesel, he's voicing Groot. It's like just kind of palling through some forest, and he sees a puddle of water, and he climbs into the puddle, and he just like sudsens himself down and puts some cucumbers on his eyes, and then gets out of the water, and he's covered in little tiny leaves. And then he starts doing a fashion show because he can cut the leaves into like a ball gown and a little soldier's hat. And it's fucking adorable. It is so sweet, you'll get cavities.
It's adorable, but now that they're adding R-rated movies, I'm looking forward to Groot Takes a Shit. That's the one that I want to fucking see. Did you hear they added Deadpool and Logan?
I know. Deadpool, Logan, and Deadpool 2 are now on Disney+.
Some people have speculated online that that's like they did that suspiciously this weekend because maybe at the Marvel panel they announced something about Deadpool 3. I think it has more to do with the fact that their deals probably just lapsed at other places, and now they can be there.
Bringing them home. And also, like, one of the things they announced was Marvel Zombies, which is a spin-off from the What If episode which had Marvel Zombies.
So wait, they're going to do a whole show, Marvel Zombies.
A whole series about Marvel Zombies.
Which was insanely popular in the comics for like a red hot minute. For
it
a long
was.
time, yeah.
You know, and that's going to be a, like, R-rated fucking cartoon because zombies
just because of all the
gore.
violence and shit?
Yeah, violence and gore. So they showed an I Am Groot. they showed a whole ass episode of What If season 2.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. Like they ended the panel with, "Do you want to watch one?" Yeah! And so we watched one.
So it's season 2, what episode?
It is What If, what the fuck? I wrote it down. Didn't I? I think I did.
Such a memorable episode,
I did.
kids.
No, but it was like, what if Captain Carter meets Armored Winter Soldier?
Oh, shit.
And so the Armored Winter Soldier is Steve Rogers. Hey, guys, I know. But you wanted to know what it was, so I told you what it was.
Sounded like somebody was jumping, like, spoiler!
I mean, he was coming at me, clearly.
Spoiler! That was your fucking John Wilkes Booth right there, man. I hate your takes! Can I grab a water? All right, so
So yes,
How
I'll tell you
was
what
it?
happened. But it's dope. Like the fucking what ifs were all dope. You know, and the animation is beautiful. The action is insane.
Yeah.
And you know, they get select members of the voice cast to come back. But Haley Atwell is always going to be Captain Carter
Right.
in animation and in live action at this point. And then they don't get fucking Chris Evans back, but they get a dude who sounds like him, and they don't get other characters back. But enough of them are sound-alikes that it's super fucking cool.
I know this is unrelated, but you said Chris Evans, and in my head I had to shuffle through all the Chris's, and as I did, I was like, wait, Chris Pine. Did you know that fucking Chris Pine is in this Dungeons and Dragons movie?
I did. They dropped a trailer yesterday.
And?
It's fun.
Now,
Like-
did everybody know there was a D&D movie coming? B, did everybody know that Chris Pine was in it? Where the fuck have I been, man? I had no idea.
It's Chris Pine and Michelle
Thank you.
Rodriguez playing a barbarian, which is adorable. Not because she couldn't be a barbarian, but it's fucking adorable. And then Reggae John Page from Bridgerton. Did you watch any Bridgerton?
I mean, I'm familiar
Somebody
with
was
his work.
like, yeah, that fucking dude who took his pants off a lot.
I was going to say, if you're asking if I saw his dick, yes, I'm familiar with his work. He was excellent on Saturday Night Live. Very funny host,
Yeah.
very charming.
But the thing that, and it's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but the thing they save in the trailer that they reveal at the very end of it is that Chris Pine is playing a bard, which is, right? The silliest character you can play in Dungeons and Dragons
Is that right?
is the dude who shows up with his lute to sing songs while everybody else is doing like dungeons and dragon fightings and shit. And he's like, well, here we go for a little ditty, don't we?
So it sounds like he comes with a lute, but then fucking brings the death later on. Like, I'm sure they raise him to the hero. Like, no, he just plays music the whole time.
I don't know. It looked fun. And it's hard to differentiate from like 9 different dragon things that we're seeing. Like, all right, so there's the House of the Dragon on that, and then there's more dragons over there, and there's probably a dragon or two in the Rings of Power show. I don't know. Fucking, there's elves at least, probably dragons.
Speaking of the Rings of Power show, man, a huge congratulations to our friend Bear McCreary, who did the score for Masters of the Universe Revelations. He just got the fucking job scoring Amazon Lord of the Rings show. What is it called? I can't say it. It sounds like a
Lord
porno.
of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Rings of Power. It just sounds like a fucking power bottom
It's
porno.
just waiting for you to put cock rings of power in.
Yes. Banff Man
Oh,
is here.
Banff
Hey,
Man.
man, welcome everybody. Banff Man's here.
Wasn't Bear McCreary supposed to do Splinter?
He
Did
was.
you get bumped for Lord of the Rings?
I absolutely did. He was
That's
supposed
okay.
to. He was supposed to write the score for my short film, and then probably about 2 months ago, he was like, "Man, I can't. I just can't fit it. I can't even tell you why, but I got to pull out." And I was like, "Don't, man. Just leave it in." It's like I wanted it.
Fuck
in.
me like a bear, McCreary.
But yes, clearly this was the thing. And even though it was just announced, he's been working on it for a good long while.
Yeah. Huge job. I remember at one point I was like, oh my God, that's huge for Bear. And then I stopped and thought about it because I've worked with Bear and I've seen his work, and his work elevated our cartoon. I was like, that's fucking huge for the Rings, man. Like, he's a great get for them. He is perfect for that job.
That guy.
Yeah.
So Marvel Animation, they greenlit second seasons for a bunch of shows. I Am Groot is getting a second season. Spider-Man Freshman Year, they showed a bunch of designs for that.
What is that show exactly?
That is his freshman year in high school. By the looks of it, Because it is
High
a prequel.
school or college?
It's a prequel. Like, it feels like it's high school.
I think it's meant to be, and this I could be wrong. I wasn't there. You were at the panel, but based on what I read online, it's meant to fill in the gaps between the next Spider-Man movie. It's freshman year in college.
I don't think so.
Is that right? Maybe, and I could have read it fucking wrong.
Because they're talking very much about, like, here's the mentor that he gets before Tony Stark, which in this show is Norman Osborn. I know, right?
So they're doing like a Marvel Cinematic Universe pre-story.
Yeah.
Because they haven't really done Norman Osborn yet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and, you know, seeing guys with fucking Letterman jackets running around the halls of what looks like a high school, like, this feels high schooly.
So would his outfit be like the outfit Peter was wearing when Tony first came to meet him, the pajama outfit?
Yeah.
That's the design?
It's similar to it, not exactly to it, but here's the very beginnings of fucking Spider-Man before he gets the Tony Stark jam.
All right, I'm down for that show too. I thought this was the show that was meant to go between Spider-Man movies to be like, this is what happens when he went to college, so that we could just jump into the next adventure. But that sounds good too.
Yeah, they backed it up. So they're doing a Spider-Man sophomore year. They've already announced season 2.
Has the first one hasn't even come out?
No.
So
Like,
doing,
we like it a lot.
I'm on board.
And the big news out of that was that one of the characters in the cartoon is going to be Daredevil, which will be voiced by Charlie Cox.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
God, they're going hardcore on Cox, aren't they, man? Fucking, I know we all do, but fucking, like, thank the Lord. They're really like, he's our Daredevil across every version of our universe.
They're taking that Cox deep.
Take it all to Cox. Good for them, man. What else? What other news do they have? Do we have a cartoon there yet?
We don't know. I'm
'em.
sorry. Yeah, and they showed some animatics from X-Men '97, which looks exactly like X-Men '97 always looked, but better. You know,
Like a little more fluid
a
animation.
little more fluid,
I
but
imagine.
the character models are essentially the same. Like
Would
Storm
have
has,
to in order for it to work.
they got a lot of the same voice cast back.
That's amazing.
Which is, you know, watching them in the booth. Like the woman who played Rogue is playing Rogue again. The dude who played Logan is playing Logan again. It's kind of great.
That is awesome.
And the music is the music, and it's exactly what you want it to be. And so that got a second season also. That.
Thank you.
Exactly that. So that was the highlight of that, was getting to see an episode, getting to see some of Groot, and just getting to see some of the design work for zombies and for Spider-Man stuff and X-Men. And yeah, it looked dope.
Fucking A, man. Right on. All right, so there's news of a panel that you actually went to. Give it up for Mark. He went to a thing.
I did a thing.
It's like the old days, man, when you were fucking a news hound. You had to go do a thing.
I
get
know.
the
Let me in the
stories.
Hall H. I want to see some shit and camp out all day long. Hall H!
What other news is there from Comic-Con?
There was some Walking Dead news.
Oh,
That after a very long time away from The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera are going to be back as Rick Grimes and Michonne for a spin-off series of their own, following the events of their characters after we last saw Rick end up on a helicopter at the end of season 9, I think that was. So they're coming back, and they're just continuing that story, and this love story that in a dead world can love survive.
Robert Kirkman, just the richest person we know, man. Good for him. That show just won't end.
I mean, even though the mothership is ending apparently this fall, they've got the Carol and Daryl Power Hour. They've got now a Rick
I think,
Grimes.
did she
show.
drop? Didn't she drop out? Isn't it just the Daryl Power half hour now?
The Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
Yes.
I think there were some issues with her, and she might be a guest star and not the main thrust of the show, but
Copy.
they're still doing that. They're doing the Tales of the Walking Dead anthology. The dead shall never die, apparently.
Amen. Good for them. AMC still, of course.
AMC.
I was in the elevator at the hotel, and I think I saw Interview with a Vampire. Is
Yeah.
an AMC show.
The Anne Rice stuff.
When's that begin?
Soon, I think.
That should
this
probably
year.
be fucking huge for them, man. Like, it's a built-in audience for those books.
Yeah, and who doesn't love vampires?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody does, apparently. And then the other bit of news that I saw on the internets before I came over is it's very comic book related, is that Todd McFarlane as a writer and Greg Capullo as an artist are collaborating on Batman Spawn #1.
Oh shit! Actual comic book news.
Actual comic book news. It'll be a 48-page one-shot that's coming out December 13th.
Is it a sequel to the previous Batman Spawn, or?
It was unclear if it's continuing that
I
story.
bought that when it came out.
But that was like, what, 2005
It's a
or
long
some shit?
fucking time ago, yeah.
So yeah, it's the two biggest dudes doing some of the best work of their careers, and Greg Capullo is now a definitive Batman artist, and it's fucking Todd McFarlane.
Fucking hey, man. I'll buy that for sure. I
You'll
like
buy that for
I
$1?
love Batman. And I loved when they did the one years ago. Like Batman didn't have to hold back. Like I remember he threw like fucking bat shuriken into his fucking face, into Spawn's face. So they might go way more violent with the character than they normally do. It'll be fun to see. And it sounds like Todd will probably do a cover at least.
At least.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. No more comic book news?
That's all I got, man. That's all
Anybody
I saw.
got any other Comic-Con news that we don't
Anybody
know
see
about?
any shit that was cool?
That's not news. But thank you very much. I saw on my Twitter feed all day long that I guess Jim Lee was doing a panel, and somebody asked him about the Snyderverse, and he said something like, right now there's no plans for any more Zack Snyder Snyderverse. And as you would imagine, Twitter lit the fuck up.
But that's not news, because Warner Brothers said it like
That's what I thought.
6 months ago.
That's what I thought. I think some people felt like, oh man, like, you know, that ain't. I saw some people being like, that can't be true. What does he know? And I'm like, I think he would know. He seems rather high up there.
He would know some shit. But yeah, I mean,
I still don't understand why they can't. I know Jim Lee ain't in charge of this, so this has nothing to do with him. But in the vast fucking Warner Brothers empire, you got HBO Max. Give them a thing every year. Let them do a thing every fucking year, man. Everyone's happy at the very fucking least that he gets to continue on the Snyderverse. But it seems so strange that they're just like, nah, we're done. Moving on.
well, I mean, DC Films still has some work to do to figure out who they're going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like they got to decide what their version of the DC universe actually is. How does, you know, Flash and Shazam and Black Adam and Batgirl all make sense together as something and something new? Because, and to be fair, they spent a decade in Zack Snyder's version of that, and they told their story, apparently. Zack, I'm sure, would tell more stories, but I guess Warner Brothers feels like, all right, we gave it a go, and we made some money, but we didn't make as much as we wanted, and the fans and the critics didn't love it as much as we wanted to. Generally, some loved it to death, because there's always people who love a thing. But now I think they want to try something new. They just don't know what that is yet.
Did the DC panel happen? The Warner Brothers movie panel?
That's tomorrow morning.
That's when they're doing Black Adam?
That's when they're doing Black Adam with apparently surprise guest Henry Cavill in the house, rumored to be there.
I read that online as well. Henry Cavill's supposed to be there. And that's why the whole, like, oh, there are no plans is weird, because it's like, but wait, Superman's coming. Do you think that means if Henry Cavill does indeed come, that he's perhaps in Black Adam?
I mean, it always felt odd to me that, because naturally the way it would work, the yin and the yang of it is Black Adam and Shazam.
Yes.
Like those are the two. That's the bonded pair.
Absolutely.
But the Shazam that they've built is a bit comical,
Very-
intentionally,
and very kid-friendly.
and very kid friendly. Like it's so Zach Levi against
Does a
The
great
Rock,
job with the character.
for sure. But those feel like two completely different movies
Right.
that are trying to do two different tones. And so maybe a way to bridge that gap is to bring Henry Cavill in, and then maybe you get a Kingdom Come.
Oh, shit.
And so if you do like older Superman and you gray fucking Henry Cavill at the temples, and then you get that whole story, then you can do a slightly older Gal Gadot. You can actually bring it all together and end that story in Kingdom Come.
And let Zack Snyder direct it. It's a fucking good idea, man. You should be running that universe over there. Fuck.
Well, I am
sounds-
currently unemployed.
It sounds at the very least, though, that like maybe that's what they're headed toward. Like, if I was a betting person, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's going to be here. There's no way. He loves his movie and has been supporting this for over
Decade.
10 years, a decade before it even existed and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they announced, like, fucking, even before the movies come out, that they're, like, working on Black Adam 2, and it's Black Adam versus Superman. That's what they'll use Superman from now. He just versus everybody. So he V'd Batman, next he'll V fucking Black Adam and shit.
I mean, it's a bit like the way Marvel uses the Hulk, in that they are not going to do a Hulk movie again for various reasons, chiefly because the rights are tied up with Universal. They have a claim in it.
Right.
But he can be a supporting character in every movie. And so, like, hey, maybe we're going to need another Superman movie because for reasons that escape me, they can't crack Superman.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
They seem to be doing just fine over on CW.
Yeah, and have been doing for a while.
Yeah.
Lots of people have figured out Superman except for the movies.
Yeah.
But hey, who am I to say? I'm just a consumer.
You just had the job and now you just lost it.
Ah, well, I never really had it.
Any other news that we didn't hit? Going once, going twice.
Anybody see any cool cosplay on the floor?
Get over here, man. Fucking look at this. Come join us, kids. Blunt Man and Chronic are in the hizzy, kids. Can you see them there? Yeah, there you go. Parade, look at that. Look at that. Here, take the microphone. Why on earth would you cosplay as characters nobody fucking knows?
Because they're fucking sick, dude.
Okay, but I've been watching your fucking movies ever since I was like 15 years old.
Oh, man.
And so it was like 10:30 at night, and I messaged her saying, "Blunt Man and Chronic?" ?
Yes.
And it's one of those cosplays. It's like, if you fucking know, you know. And so sometimes those are the best, rather than just like Superman and shit like that.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that. I thank my brother every day for making me so fucking cool, because he like raised me to be so into all this shit. Jay and Silent Bob, all the other fucking movies we watch. So thank you, Gerardo. I love you.
Aw, that's
I'm
fucking
here.
adorable. Now, how long have you been just doing this today?
Yeah, just today.
How do people go, who are you?
No,
Not here, obviously. Here people get it, but like in the real world. Like, does a Doctor Strange look down on you too and shit? A cosplaying Doctor Strange is like, they ain't real.
well, to be fair, we're actually cosplayers, so.
That's true. You're just dressing up. But have you had people be like, I don't get it?
Nah.
Fucking
They're
A.
just looking at her up and down like.
It's because my nipples are out.
Yeah, that's something Jay Muse couldn't pull off, man. Tried. I was like, take him out. He's like, nope.
Put him on the glass.
Yeah, no, I literally had a guy, she was walking here and I was behind her, and she would just turn around. And he was just like. And I was just like, oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
What a horrifying story that was. Give it up for the ladies, man. Blunt Man and Chronic. Excellent job, kids. Thank you. Oh, I love you. I love you as well. I love you too. Another cosplayer. Come on up, man. We didn't know this was a cosplay show. It's Silent Bob. Hey, look at your camera. Turn around. Look at the blow-up boombox. How adorable, man. Take the mic.
No, don't give him the mic. He's silent.
Oh, that's right. You're silent. You're doing a fucking excellent job right there.
Killing it.
Now take the mic. I let you pull out of character for this because I must know. Can you get laid off of this look?
I've been married for 16 years, and thanks to you, my wife hates goodbye horses now.
Oh, shit. You're a tucker. I knew it.
I play it every night.
Fucking A, man.
It still makes it happen, though.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah, it still works.
Tucker, the man in his dream.
Has anybody been like, who are you?
No, I get a lot of like, hey, the Bob is here, and I'm like, yeah, but see, I wish we'd been standing next to each other just to see. Hopefully, I'd beat you. And they're like, oh, he looks better than you.
It's true, man. It's true. If I wear a mask, you might win and shit. If I take the mask off, though, at that point, they're like, he looks like the real thing, just older.
No, I want to personally thank you for all your films. I mean, you're such an inspiration to a lot of people, and me especially.
Means the world.
Thank you so much.
Damn pleasure, man. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, who dressed up like Mark Bernardin? You fucking pricks.
There's a... Nah, man, there's a black dude over there in a Spider-Man t-shirt. He's just walking away. Come on, homie, you gotta represent. Yeah, come on up. I like the Mark Bernardin cosplay. See, look, that's me.
Mark Bernardin cosplay right there. Absolute pleasure. Take that mic.
I'm just here supporting my boy right there, who's like the biggest Kevin Smith fan ever. So when I see him coming up here bantering with you, I'm like, I have to get you something.
You're the dutiful friend. I meet you so often when somebody comes
Oh,
up.
that was him. He was Silent Bob.
He's
Yeah.
Bob. When I meet people who are so ecstatic to meet me, there's usually somebody standing next to him who is patient as a fucking saint. And I'm always like, I know who you are. You're like my wife in these situations. The dutiful friend who's like, is this fucking done yet? So it's very kind of you to be his companion.
It is a blessing just being here, just in your guys' presence. You guys
my
are
God, how
amazing.
sweet
Thank
of
you
you.
guys. Thank you.
Damn pleasure. How sweet. All right, Banff Man. Shall we dive to some Q&A?
Yeah, we can do some Q&A.
All right, man. That means Banff Man's going to pick some people to ask some questions. We'll bring you up here. You take this mic. You ask us questions. We like that question. You get to pick one of these fine fucking prizes. A Chogren Mall Rat, ladies and gentlemen. Silent Bob or Jay. Or a signed Movies Funko Pop, man. Oh, really? And we got this shit too? Never mind that. The pot got sweeter, man. There's only two sets? Two of these prizes will come with 4DX tickets. So you can go see whatever's playing in 4DX. And if you've never seen a 4DX movie, the chair fucks you to death. It's amazing. It's like a thrill ride and a movie at the same time. All right, what's your name, Captain?
Name's Andrew.
Andrew?
Andrew.
Everyone
Hey,
give it
man.
up for Andrew. He's first.
All right, so this question's mostly for you, Kevin.
Okay.
I know that you wrote Clerks 3 like a while ago, and you've been reworking it over and over again.
Yeah.
I know at one point you guys did a script reading of like the original version of it.
Yep.
Would you ever consider doing like a what if type of thing, like a comic or maybe release the script?
I'll
That
do
way
you one
fans-
better. Do you have his sound at all, or should I repeat for him? Yeah, can you hear him?
We're good.
Done and done. Then I'll go straight to the answer. I didn't know if I had to repeat it. I couldn't hear you coming out of the mic. When we did a live reading of that version of Clerks 3, which we did as a benefit for the First Avenue Playhouse, when you see people auditioning for the movie in Clerks 3, we shot that at the First Avenue Playhouse because that's where we auditioned folks for Clerks and shit. So when we were doing a benefit for them, I did a reading of that version, and Josh shot it. And it was really fucking powerful, man. And so we'll put it up after the real ones on video so everyone can fucking see the difference and stuff. And then probably I've got a comic book label imprint that's starting in September called Secret Stash Press with Dark Horse Comics. I think we might do the old script as a comic book to just show you the alternate version of what Clerks 3 would have been. In a comic book form, man, you get away with doing cool shit like that. So yes. Do you have anything for Mark, though?
I haven't read Adora yet. I'm so sorry. I would ask you about that. I just want to say that I do love you
Oh,
equally. Yes.
Thank
just
you.
as much as Kevin. Been watching you guys for years. You guys have both shaped my geekiness. So it's an honor to be talking to you
You
guys right now.
fucking rock. Andrew wins this, man. Well done, Andrew. Give it up for Andrew. Well done, my friend. I'll take that microphone back. Hey, okay.
you can give. Should we do this one for questions?
Yeah, probably. Thank you. All right,
Yeah,
who's
that-
next? What's your name?
My name is Linda. It's great
Linda?
to meet you.
Hi,
Thank you
Linda.
so
Give it
much.
up for Linda, man.
Hi. So there's
Slide over a
okay,
little bit. Which
slide
would be
over.
better? This side? Right there? Done and done.
So there's a lot of collaborators potentially here at San Diego Comic-Con. What's a
Excellent point.
collaboration that you'd like to do with anyone at Comic-Con that you haven't done yet?
What a great question. You're definitely going to win a mall rat. You start.
It's funny. I had breakfast with a friend this morning, and he was like, "Well, what's the next thing you want to work on?" And I started telling him the story of this movie that I want to write. Like, it could be a TV show, but it's probably a movie. And he was like, "That's dope. I love it. What's the next step?" And I was like, "Well, I think if I'm going to pitch this thing and get somebody to pay me to write it, I'm probably going to need to attach a director to this movie. in order to sort of get over the hump of, is this a real thing? Is this actually, viable property? Like, we like the idea, but blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, who's the director you want? I was like, there's really only one person. And he said, you would be perfect for this, who gets you in the door, brings all the relevant experience and expertise to the thing that you want. He said, well, who is it?
I'm happy to do it.
Asked and answered.
Who was it really?
It was you. I'm
Are you
not
fucking
around.
serious?
Yeah.
I thought I was joking. I was joking around.
Not at all. I was like, it's Kevin Smith or bust, I think.
What is it?
I'm going to tell you now.
Oh.
You've been
Wait.
telling me to, keep your fucking
That's
ideas
true,
to
and I'm like,
yourself.
spill
What
it.
is it?
I forgot all these people. Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk. We got to wrap the show up, kids. We got to talk about our future. Oh, really?
Really?
It's fucking dope, man. All right.
Yeah. So we'll have a chat, but it's legit the thing that I'm like, he's really the only other person I can imagine to do this thing.
A new baby has been born.
And you watched it. You watched it go
watched
deep
it
and long.
happen.
Deep and long and hard.
I mean, I was going to say Blunt Man and Chronic in a Marvel movie, but fucking that's way better. You get to pick which one. Which one you like? Oh, you
And the
give it up
tickets on
first.
top,
You
don't
won.
forget.
And you got the tickets, too. Yeah, they're both yours. She took the J. What an insult. What's your name, Captain?
My name is Rob.
What is it?
Rob.
Everyone,
Hi,
give it up
Rob.
for Rob, man.
Thank you, everyone. Let me start off by saying thank you. Thank you for the entertainment. Thank you for all the enjoyment you've given us over the years.
Thank you.
I grew up on your stuff, and it's just incredibly awesome.
Thank you for that, man.
So I'd like to ask you both.
Yes.
You guys have had an amazing career. You've had some amazing opportunities.
Been a good run. Thanks for coming.
Well, let me ask you this. What have you passed up that you regret?
Ooh. What a great fucking take that fucking mall rat now, man.
There we go.
Oh my! I really don't have a life of regrets or career of regrets either. But there's definitely some shit we could talk about here. What do you?
It's funny because similarly, I don't want to live a life of regret, and I think that every choice that I've been lucky enough to make has brought me to the place that I needed to be. That said, there had been some mistakes along the way of some of those choices that you can learn from and that you can process and you can turn into ammunition for what comes next. But there was a point in which I had two opportunities to choose from, two different TV shows. I can't say the one that I chose, but I can say that the one that I didn't choose was the third season of The Witcher.
Nice.
Why didn't you ask me? I would have been like, fucking do it. What happened? Tell the story.
I had a lovely meeting with the showrunners and the producers, and I knew a couple of people who would be on it, and it would have been great. And I legitimately, I'm a Witcher fan. I was never a deep fan of the books, but I love the show. I played the game.
Show's amazing.
The show's great, and so to get to play in that world would have been phenomenal, except for what the other thing was.
There was something fucking better.
And I can't say what it was. But
I know what it is.
Will we be seeing it soon?
I don't know how soon is, but definitely in the next couple of years.
Knowing what I know, you made the right choice.
But it was just like
Spoilers.
I had to do the thing because I would have regretted not doing it. That said, fucking The Witcher is The Witcher. It would have been amazing. So, and those are the kinds of the choices that I'm lucky to have to make. Is between two things that I love and two things that are great and two things that could help advance my career. And there's no winner or loser in that choice. There's just gut feeling. It's just, I think I got to do this. All right, is the money the same? No. Wow, fuck, I think I still got to do this. And so, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to say before the end of the year what the other thing was. And then maybe you'll understand why I chose it. But yeah, it was that.
Cool.
Give it up for Mark. That's an excellent fucking tale.
How about you, Kevin?
Well, I'm going to start with, and I don't, this is not a regret, but this was an opportunity that was afforded to me, and I feel like I was wise enough to know that I was not the right choice. Me and Scott Mosier, my Smodcast buddy, and the guy who produced all the early movies, we were friends with this upcoming actor named Ben Affleck, and him and his buddy Matt Damon had written a script that they sold to Castle Rock for almost $1 million. Like it was a spec script that they sold for 800 grand. Castle Rock wasn't moving forward on that movie. So I met Ben making Mallrats. We became friends. He's fucking one of the most likable, funniest people in the world. Jennifer Lopez is a lucky, lucky woman. He, as our, friendship grew, he would talk more about Good Will Hunting. First day I met him when he came into auditions, I had read the day before, or that morning, as a matter of fact, that him and Matt, his friend, had sold the script. It was in the Hollywood Reporter. So when he came in to audition for Mallrats, I was like, the fuck are you doing here, man? Like, you just sold the script for $800,000. And he was shocked. He was like, how the fuck do you know that? I was like, I read the trades. He was like, you're too young to read the trades. And he was younger than me. So, I had always been checking in, like, how's Good Will Hunting doing and shit? And he would leave Mallrats, the set of Mallrats, like, because he didn't shoot every day. He came to me one time, he was like, hey man, Rob Reiner wants to meet about Good Will Hunting, because Rob Reiner was one of the co-heads of Castle Rock. And I was like, yeah, go meet Meathead. That sounds amazing. He played fucking Meathead on All in the Family. Some people are like, you just called Rob Reiner Meathead. The whole world did at one fucking point and shit. So he would go back and have meetings, and there was somebody at Castle Rock, one of the partners, not Rob Reiner, that wanted to direct the movie. And the boys were like, no, we think it should be Gus Van Sant, who had directed Ben's brother in a movie called To Die For, and so they all knew him, and everyone loved Gus. He's an amazing director. So they had always seen Gus as the guy to direct Good Will Hunting, and because of the deal that they made as a spec script, they had the ability to say no to everybody. And so they were saying no to everyone that they threw their way, and including this partner who wanted to direct the movie. And to be fair, this partner had directed films before. But the boys were like, no, man, like, this movie belongs to Gus in our head and hearts. So at a certain point, Castle Rock got frustrated, and they were like, look, take this movie out. We're going to give you a window. If you could sell it to somebody else and we get our money back, fine, we'll walk away clean. But if you can't, in 2 months, it comes back to us, and this deal about director approval goes away, and we're going to fucking bring in the director we want, and also we're going to bring in the cast that we want, because Ben and Matt were attached to Star, but Castle Rock had their eye on 2 other very hot upcoming actors, name of Leonardo DiCaprio and Spider-Man, whatever the fuck, Tobey Maguire. That's who they wanted for that movie, and a completely different director as well. So Ben, in a Hail Mary, fucking goes, hey man, like, you work at Miramax, can you get this script in there? Maybe they'll buy it, because it feels like a Miramax movie. And I was like, I don't know, man, like, fucking, like, it's gonna be weird for me to walk in and be like, a friend of mine wrote a script, he plays the bully in the movie I just finished and shit. And I was like, send me the script, I'll read it and I'll let you know. So they FedExed me the script, and because you couldn't just fucking text it to somebody in those days, you actually had to fucking mail it. He FedExed me the script, I got it, I took it into the bathroom at this condo I was living in Red Bank, sat down, I figured I'd read the first few pages while I was taking a shit. I did not get up for 2 hours. I shit in the first 3 minutes, and I just kept turning the fucking page. You know, it's a very emotional movie, so about the end of the script, I'm bawling my eyes out. I come out of the bathroom when I'm done. Scott Mosier was like, what happened in there? And I was like, I had a transformative experience. I can't believe it. Fucking Ben Affleck and his friend wrote, like, the best fucking script I've ever read. He goes, bullshit. I was like, fucking read this. And so Scott read it, and he was like, this is fucking dope. So we brought it into Miramax. Miramax bought the flick. They had to pay more than Castle Rock had paid for it. Castle Rock paid 800 grand for it. Miramax had to go over the top because of expenses and shit. They paid $1 million for it. So on the day that the deal closed, I will never know if this was because they were serious or if this was because they felt like, well, he helped bring this shit in, so we should fucking ask. But the head of Miramax, whose name we'll leave out because we're all having a good fucking time, as well as Ben and Matt themselves, were like, do you want to direct? Because I was the director friend.
Wow.
And I'd brought the project in, and it was a project about dudes that talk to each other. And, you know, I had done that a few times. So in that moment, I was like, you know what, man? No. I was like, and I'll be honest, I love this script. It made me cry on the shitter. I said, and I'll take some credits. What I should have said was put me in the fucker. But we got, me and Scott got like ass prod credit, co-executive producer credits or something. But I said, like, look, you don't need me. Like, if I was to direct this, I would constantly turn around to the writers and be like, what did you see when you wrote this? Because that's the only way I knew how to translate my shit. So I was like, I will ruin this by turning to the writers constantly. At that point, just hire the writers to direct it. And that was never going to be the case. I remember the exact quote was, like Ben Affleck can never direct a movie. This was years before. So I backed the boys' original play, which was Gus. Like, it should go to Gus. And for the next 6 months, Miramax didn't commit to Gus. They had everybody come in a Miramax vault somewhere. I mean, whoever owns that shit, I think it's Paramount now, is 20 minutes of, what do they used to call that shit in the movie business, where the screen test, where Michael Mann, the director of Heat, directed 20 minutes of Good Will Hunting with scenes of Ben and Matt and their friends just to see if he liked how they were as actors and shit. At one point, Mel Gibson was real close to directing. At one point, who else was on the list? Fucking Daniel Stern. It was crazy. So many people wanted to direct that movie. But when they asked me, do you want to direct it? I was like, I would ruin this. And thank God I didn't, because Gus did an amazing job and they won awards and shit. So that one I don't regret. Right? Like maybe a year later, because you got to remember, now I'm like Kevin Smith and like, oh, he made Clerks 96 and shit like that. But there was a moment in the 90s where I was like a hot commodity. So at one point, I'm working on a screenplay for Superman at Warner Brothers. And the head of Warner Brothers is Lorenzo di Bonaventura. He went on to produce the Transformers movies. He left Warner Brothers, became a producer and shit. Back then, he was running Warner Brothers as the head of production. So, you know, I've been working on Superman. I told that fucking story a zillion times. Lorenzo was like, I want you to come over to my house to have dinner. And I was like, oh my God, absolutely. This is the fucking head of the studio. And I like the guy. So I go to his house, I always try to remember where it was because I drive the Hollywood Hills all the time. I just remember it was like up a real windy fucking place and shit. We got there, he had a cook who fucking cooked for us and shit. And we sat there eating and bullshit and talked about Chasing Amy because that was coming next. I was like, we'd already been to Sundance and shit, I think, at that point. And so Lorenzo di Bonaventura, who's in charge at Warner Brothers, this is 1996/7. So I want to say late 96, early 97. He goes, you know, I've been thinking about this. This is a true fucking story. Swear on my mother's fucking grave. We get fucking Lorenzo and he'll back it up. He goes, I've been thinking about this. There are a lot more characters in this DC like toy box than just Batman and Superman. We're always making Batman and Superman. And you seem to know a lot about this shit. So, what would you think about running a division of Warner Brothers where all you do is develop superhero movies for us to make?
Wow. And
in that meal, right there at the dinner, I was like, no, man, I'm about to make Dogma. Like, I was like, that sounds like a dream job, but it also sounds like a job for somebody who wants to be an executive and stuff. I said, are you trying to get me out of the movie business to just develop because I suck as a director? He goes, no. And I said, well, I got to do my thing. I was like, I've been trying to make this Dogma movie since I wrote it before Clerks. So I don't think I'm your guy. And, you know, I'm happy I went and made Dogma. But modern day Kevin Smith would be like, oh, I know how to do both because I'll be stoned for all of it, you know? It wouldn't have been threatening or intimidating. It would have been something that I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I'll take that on. Even if I did it for a couple years and then fucked off and did my own shit. Or, this is how little I thought of myself. I was offered a whole division. I could have just been like, oh, I'm developing this and I'm going to direct it myself. But I never thought of myself as a comic book movie director, so that didn't factor into the math. So years later, man, like after seeing what Kevin Feige did with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which to be fair, I never would have had the breadth of vision to do myself. I don't think I would have. I'm not that inventive. Case in point, next up, Clerks 3. So I don't feel like the world missed out or something like that by any stretch of the imagination, but I do recognize now that like I could have said yes and life would have taken a weirdly different turn. Again, doesn't mean those movies would have been good. You know, maybe it would have ended my fucking career, period. As it stands now, I've got a career where I can build my own path. If nobody wants to work with me, I'm like, fuck off. I'll be over here until you're ready again. Then I do some shit, and then they're like, oh, come back. And then I go play with them again and stuff. So I have no regrets. I love the career of Kevin Smith, and I don't mean that in a royal way. Just as a fan of Kevin Smith, the world's biggest Kevin Smith fan, I like the career choices of Kevin Smith. That being said, I probably just should have said fucking yes in that room. Like, I could have been, fuck Kevin Smith, I could have been Kevin Feige for fucking Warner Brothers and shit. The best Kevin in the world to be, man. So, I do, every once in a while, I go, fuck, man, maybe I should have just said yes instead of, you know, I was a kid, man, and all I wanted to do was make my shit. I could not fucking believe that I was able to make the things that I was able to make, that they were letting me make Mallrats or fucking Chasing Amy, or now we were on the breath of the doorstep of fucking Dogma. So I couldn't see past that. I was happy to write for him, and I told him that. I was like, I'll write all the superhero movies you want. I said, but like, nah, when it comes to directing, I just do my shit. And, you know, years later, I would go play in the CW sandbox, and it would be comfortable because those were only like 9-day jobs and shit. Still to this day, I don't regret never making a superhero movie. I think that's meant for very visually talented people. I like, and that's also my go-to jam. Like, that's my safe place, that's my happy place. I don't want to go work in that happy place, ruin it, and then it's no longer a happy place for me. Like, oh, I can't watch comic book movies because I made one and it flopped and shit. Now I can watch them and just love them to death and shit, and rarely judge them. Like, never am I like, oh, this is a bad comic book movie. I'm just like, well, that's better than I could fucking ever do. And take my hat off. Not literally, because I never fucking take my hat off, but I take my hat off figuratively to them. What a great question.
I'll tell you,
What
Kevin,
a long answer.
Kevin, thank you for Dogma. I'm glad you did it.
Damn pleasure. Take your tickets, take your Silent Bob, you're a goddamn winner. What a weird, wonderful walk down memory lane. Kids, have you had a good time this evening, man?
We gotta talk to Ryan.
What's that?
We gotta talk to Ryan.
Oh my God, we're not even fucking done, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot, we got a guest, man. Joining us right now from Golden Apple Comics, man. The world's greatest comic book store, even fucking considering I own one. Golden Apple been doing it for fucking ever. I remember seeing an Entertainment Tonight piece, 1989, when Batman was coming out. And they went to Golden Apple to shoot a piece about the merchandising, like all the toys that they were selling, and they showed a bunch of comic book covers. And the guy who ran the store, Bill Leibowitz, was like being interviewed on TV and shit. And I had that saved on a VHS for years because I'd watch it over and over again because I was a huge fan of Batman and a huge fan of the movie that was coming and stuff. And we didn't have access to like the internet and trailers at that point. So anything you could save, you saved. So I watched that fucking tape to death. And then years later, I was 89, 1994, I come out to Los Angeles because of Clerks for the first time. And one of the first things I did was like, does Golden Apple still exist? And fucking they were like, yeah, it's over on Melrose. And I went to Melrose, walked in, and fucking the Bill Leibowitz was working, who to me was one of the most famous fucking people in the world because I saw him on this Entertainment Tonight piece. And I was like, oh my God, dude, you were on TV. He was like 6 years ago. I was like, yeah, but I have it saved on a VHS. I must have come off as so fucking creepy, you know? In any event, man, the Leibowitzes still own Golden Apple, and Ryan is the guy that runs it now. Ryan's here to talk about this Golden Apple initiative that is about help saving comics. Join us right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Ryan! You want to join us or there? Which is easier? Either way, come sit with us, man.
Pull up a chair.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. My people out here.
Ryan just came from a panel. Did you have a panel right before this?
I had a panel yesterday.
Yesterday.
Where at? You were talking to some other Bill.
Yes, I was talking.
Instead of on our panel,
Mr.
so
Bill Shannon.
We played that awesome video that you sent me, which was touching and awesome. And it was a little snippet. You guys got a little snippet of the video he sent me that we played in our presentation yesterday. Back up 1 second. We started a charity organization, and Kevin here graciously is an advisory board member on it. And it means It means the fucking world to me because
Happy to do it, man.
I get to use his name and like throw that shit around, be like, yeah, Kevin's on my board, so you got to listen to me now.
And you found out how exactly invaluable that is.
Like, I can't make it. I got this other guy I'm talking to. But no, he played this video and just said all these great things, sort of what he just said, but even more. And just a mensch, as we would say,
You're
Mr.
very, very
Mr.
kind,
Smith.
my friend. Friend
And
of
Mark,
the family.
Pleasure to see you too.
Hi.
Not just on elevators waving to you from Comic-Con.
always
Thanks,
a pleasure.
guys, for having me here. This is amazing.
No worries.
We started something, to give back. We really want to do something. We've been selling comic books for over 40 years. My dad started Golden Apple in 1979. I'm going to move up.
There you
'cause
go. There
I'm
you go.
getting-
Otherwise, I'm
the
like,
director told me what to do.
I know. Do you see this?
And you fucking do it.
Sum total of my direction was like, move up.
And
What does the charity do? What's it called, number one?
so it's called the Golden Apple Comic and Art Foundation. It's a real clever name I thought of.
I liked it.
We had a couple other things, and we just went with that. And basically one day, one of my oldest customers who's been collecting comics for like 40, 50 years and has amassed one of those giant collections. You guys don't know anything about like a room or a house full of comics and toys and shit, right? You don't have any of that at home, I'm assuming? So this guy's older, so you can only imagine, and he comes in every week. He's a weekly Wednesday warrior, and he's he's kind of wealthy and he's got his money. He's a whale, thank you. So here's the thing. He told me that when he dies, he was gonna give all his shit to his alma mater, the University of Pennsylvania, which is admirable and amazing. And I was like, damn, you sure? You just sell it to me. I'll flip that shit and make some money. Serious.
Yes.
I'm a retailer. That's what, right? I had no idea, I'd be here talking about this at this point. And he said, no, like my kids are good. We got money, we got houses, we got things. He's like, they're not touching my comic books. Like, if I find out anyone touched my comic books after I'm gone, like they're dead meat.
Right.
Like, they need to go sit and be celebrated and appreciated for many years to come. Literally the rest of, all humanity. He wants people to enjoy him. He's got crazy runs of X-Men and all that good stuff that you would think he has.
Wow.
And he wants people to enjoy it. And he doesn't want to see it sold to the highest bidder or thrown away or mismanaged or anything like that. And so he called my wife Kendra and I and was like, yeah, Kendra. Thank you, Justin. That's my guy over there, Justin. And he called and he's like, I got a crazy idea. He's like, what if I donate it all to you and you start a charity foundation and then you take it and get it to the university the proper way? And what I learned in this little thing we've been doing for like 6 to 8 months is that had he just said, hey, here's all my shit, they wouldn't have known what to do with it.
Right.
It would be almost a burden for them. It would actually end up in their basement. They admitted this to me. And they'd be like, well, we got this awesome collection of comics, but we don't know what to do with it. We don't know how much it's worth. We don't know a good one from a bad one.
Makes sense.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to organize it, catalog it, alphanumeric it, bag and board it, do the whole thing, and make sure it's preserved and protected and organized, A, for tax purposes, B, so that we can deliver this thing like with a bow on top. And so it can be actually housed right across from Ben Franklin's exhibit because he started that school. It's the oldest school in the country. And they're just like over the moon. Wow, you're going to do all this for us? I said, yeah, this is what we're going to do. So that's sort of how it started.
Right.
But we sort of taken that with the board members. We've had a few board meetings, by the way. We put your name in the hat. But that's why you're an advisory board member. It's like when you need to know, we tell you.
Exactly.
And we made a few decisions, and we made some leaps and bounds. And basically, we want to get into, eventually, doing some scholarships, not only for comic book creators, people want to write and draw comics, people want to publish comics, maybe colorists, letterers, that kind of thing, but also near and dear to my heart, and obviously my father's, was retailing. A lot of comic book stores are started by fans. Let's be
very true.
Let's be honest
of which
here.
your dad was
and
one.
they might not have the background to run a business, and a retail business, especially in this COVID times and all. It is difficult. It was difficult even when it was handed to me when my dad passed 17 years ago. and it's difficult today even more. So, but you got to know budgets and inventory and payroll and all
Yeah,
that.
passion gets you so far. That sooner or later, math is involved.
So I want to send people to business school, for example,
Smart.
to get a degree before they open a comic book store.
Nice.
Things like that.
Nice, man. That's fucking
and
smart.
We want to preserve comic books, and I made a point in the presentation, which maybe I'll throw online. Maybe I'll throw your video online at some point. One of one is a big deal in the collector's industry right now. You guys heard of that? Like LeBron James, triple logo man, sold for like $2.5 million. It's a one of one. I can't believe it, right? Every comic book page ever drawn is a one of one. Think about that shit. Right? They're all original. There's no duplication of those. Someone painstakingly drew that. And then someone inked it, colored it, lettered it, the whole nine, right? It's a lot of process. You're publishing comics again, which, by the way, thank God, there's going to be some good shit for us to sell coming up.
Hope so. Hope bring some people into stores and stuff. My store, your store, anybody's store. But yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah, the more the merrier. So congratulations for getting back in it because you didn't have enough to do.
I'll come do a signing with you guys because you guys
Let's
are right
do
down
it.
the street from my
You
place.
heard it. You heard it here first.
Tell these folks, you talked a little bit about what's it like to be a multi-generational retail family? Like you guys have been at comics, your dad made comics his life, your mom's life, and handed it down to you, and he made it your life. And, you could have been like, I don't want this, man, but you also embraced it. What is it like being in comics, like the backbone, the spine of the comic book industry? We talk about the movies that they make, which are amazing, but they don't get to make those movies unless you sell some fucking comic books. And the person that sells the comic books is not Marvel, it's not DC, it's the retailer. It's the person like on the ground level. What's it like being part of that legacy?
That's a perfect segue, Kevin. It's almost like we planned this. So interesting that you would bring this up. This new charity organization tonight is sponsoring the Eisner Awards. If you guys ever heard of that, it's like the Oscars.
Our boy right here is
You're
up
for
for
an
one.
Eisner
I'm up
tonight?
for an Eisner.
Tonight,
We're
man,
gonna
as
be
soon
there
as
rooting
we're
you
done
on, bro.
here. Hopefully, Mark goes on and wins takes
I
his
hope
rightful
you win.
Eisner
I hope
this
all our
evening.
friends win, and it's great. It's like the Oscars for what we do for cool shit. And my dad won the award on the second year they ever did the Eisner. It's called the Eisners after Will Eisner, who's like the grandfather of the graphic novel and just an amazing storyteller. And
What did your dad win for retail?
yeah, so they do a Spirit of Eisner Award for the best retailer of the year. Yeah.
Really?
And so they gave it to my dad in like the first year or second year. And I got nominated last year. Golden Apple did, right?
Fucking A.
And then they called me and retracted it.
Oh, fuck, why?
But I'm going to tell you why, because they're rules, because they're like old school thinking rules. And they didn't think about the fact that, hey, there could be a new owner of Golden Apple, whether Bill Leibowitz sold it to somebody else, or if, God forbid, his stupid kid grew up and wanted to run it, right?
Right.
And so I made this point to the powers that be and got them to change the rule. So how does it feel to be a second generation owner? Like, it means everything to me because, that award, when it sits up above the register at Golden Apple Comics, if you've ever been into our shop, it's this cool ass, crystal thing. It's awesome. And Will Eisner handed it to my dad. I got a picture of that. It's
Holy shit.
pretty awesome.
That
He
is
was,
legendary
he felt
stuff.
like he was like his dad. It was awesome. And but it says it's to Bill Leibowitz, and then in parentheses, Golden Apple.
Right.
It was given to the person with the accomplishment, not the store name. And so that was my deciding point. And so it's not that I want to win an award. I don't even know if I deserve an award, but the point was there are other owners. I mean, I know some stores in LA that have had 4 or 5 new owners that are not family related. Why shouldn't they win an award if they're doing a better job or whatnot? So there's some great shops out there that have new owners. It's like an old diner where the old guy, ran it for 50 years and then retired and sold it to some other, and they should get an award, right? So it means everything. I mean, I go into that store every day and it's like seeing my dad. Like his picture's on the wall, but like I know he's proud. Like, not to get all deep
He
and
put
shit
the,
on you
no,
guys.
he's super.
Don't want to
proud.
bring the room down, but
No,
like,
that brings the room up, man.
I work pretty hard, and you know, I've tried a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats, as
You
as
do.
I don't physically wear them. I just, like, you know, sort of wear
Because you got
hats.
a good head of hair, but you do. You're always very
But like,
busy.
I did a production company, a publishing company. I do publishing. I've done publishing for several years. And
Your
we
dad
put out
did
some
too.
stuff.
Way
yeah,
back
Flaxen.
in the day. Flaxen. That was always
The
a big,
living logo with
Yes.
Susie Owens, the playmate. Playmate by day, superhero by night.
That was right. He had. You guys
No,
had
she was
your
a
own
nurse. She was a
book.
nurse. She
But
was
it was. Did you publish more than one book or multiple books?
2 books from Dark Horse, and no, she was a nurse by day, superhero by night. She was actually a Playboy playmate when Playboy was still around.
Yes.
The kids
the
remember
model
that.
for the actual character.
And my dad got Hugh Hefner, to put a spread in Playboy of Susie Owens as this character Flaxen for the
For
store.
Golden Apple.
Unbelievable.
And what year is that?
That was like my dad's favorite crowning moment, that he was in Playboy.
What
Swear to
year would
God.
that be? Have to be like
shit.
late 80s, early 90s.
No, early 90s.
So this is at a
92,
time
93.
long before people gave a fuck about comic books or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was a trailblazer. He was a pioneer in the comic book industry. And part of the thing that we're doing here is to just carry on his legacy, right? And I guess my family's to that effect.
Hell yeah.
Because the point of this is all, I'm not going to be here forever, no offense to you guys, neither are you guys.
Oh, no,
So
I got plans in
worried.
the opposite direction.
I'm
I
a
am
little-
going to be here forever.
I'm a little, nice. But I'm a little worried in 100 years, with the paper shortages and the COVID and the digital comics and the NFTs, like, is Comic-Con going to exist? Is Golden Apple going to exist? Are comic book stores going to still be printed? I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah.
Bam.
I damn well hope so. I hope you
Bamf
guys.
man, bamfed in. Hold on. What
I'm
you
going to
got?
share with you something that Kevin told me a couple of years ago. Comic-Con, comic book stores, all of this isn't about what you're buying and selling. It's about community. So it will be there.
Absolutely.
It's the thing, man.
This guy
Think
gets
about
it.
It's
He
like
gets
that's
it.
you could tell from this year alone. And this is the first time we've been back in 3 years at all doing Comic-Con together. I take it for granted because I live in a world full of this shit. I live in a pop culture soaked world. I go to many cons and fan expos and stuff like that. But what about the person who's like, I'm the lone Ghostbuster in fucking Pacoima. Like, nobody else is into this shit but me. And every fucking year, I go to San Diego Comic-Con and I find my tribe. I find my people. I find my community. And that's the thing. Like, I'll fucking work a shitty job all year long because those 4 days, that's all I'm working toward. And for 3 years, that's been, like, snatched away from a lot of people. That's what I've been seeing in everybody's face at cons so far. It's like people just grateful to be around other people, like-minded individuals. Community. It's really nice.
Definitely. So, I mean, I'm still going to applause for that. So I'm still continue to sell comic books, on a retail level. I don't really have a lot of plans to open like stores around the world or anything like that. I'm pretty content. If you know anything about us, we did have multiple locations. I sold those off because I'm just one store, one
Concentrate on
family,
one.
one business.
You're like Jerry
type of thing.
Maguire, man.
I'm the Jerry Maguire of comics. Great. So this foundation is really near and dear to my heart, and I want to help. We have a slogan. You remember that slogan?
What is it? Help save comics?
That's right. Yell it out.
Help save comics, kids.
This is a shirt I brought you. Sorry, Mark. Only board members get shirts.
I mean, that's fair. I get it.
That's beautiful. I will wear that shirt. Where can they get information? How can folks at home help out?
The best thing you can do is hear what we have to say today. Maybe you watched it on the live stream and you're at home somewhere. Maybe you're here right now, or you watch it on a replay and you said, wow, that's really cool. Kevin Smith's a board member on this new charity organization to help save comics. Tell somebody else. It's about spreading the word, and it's really about preserving comics and celebrating comics in the industry, as well as the heroes we had. I mean, we've lost some major people this year. Obviously,
Steven
George
2 days
Perez,
ago, yeah.
George Perez, Neil Adams, and even a couple days ago. My
Alan
goodness. you know, and we're here to celebrate those people, remember the legends that were, and show people their art. If you've been to the Comic-Con Museum, which is right over here that they just opened, there's all the original art on the walls. Go see some original art. If you go into Comic-Con, there's all those boring booths over on the right with those old comic books, all dusty comics,
Right.
and those big oversized pages. Go look at those. They're amazing. You don't have to buy any of them, but like just appreciate this art form that we do.
That's why we're here. It's the track. They laid the track.
We have some
upon
great
which we
board
travel.
members. Mike Malvy's here tonight from Atomic Comics. Over here, we got Heidi McDonald. Mark Andraco's
Fucking A,
is an
wonderful
amazing
writer.
a writer and creator. And of course, Gary, who's the collector who started it all and gave us the collection, which we're now starting to organize and go through and, you know, get it all set so we can go to the University of Pennsylvania. You know, if someone wants to donate, we do have a website coming out. We have social media out there. You can find us real easy, especially if
Or
you
you
go to,
could give it to them right now.
or I could give it to
Social
them right
media,
now.
that one right there.
Yeah, it's GApple CAF on most of the you know, the socials. Instagram's GApple Foundation. But even if you just type in Golden Apple Foundation, you will find us. If you find GApple Comics or Golden Apple, we always link to everything. You know, we're synonymous with each other. And thank you for having me on.
We love comic books, and a big feature in comic books are superheroes. You today are a real life one. Give it up for Ryan, everybody. Excellent job.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the
I'm gonna
shirt
keep this.
and help save comics.
Excellent job. Somebody actually talking about comics at Comic-Con.
Look at that.
Let's talk about you before we get out of here, because we got to get out of here. We're not meant to do a very, very long show, and it's already almost 5:30. We just get lost, don't we?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Mark is going to leave here, and he's going over to the Eisner Awards, where, as we previously said, he's up for one for Adora and the Distance. I paused just for that.
You guys.
Your moments before the inevitable happens, whatever that may be, I happen to think it's going to be the positive. How you feeling?
You know, I choose to anticipate disappointment, which leaves room for surprise. So I won't be upset if we don't win, because we didn't make it the book to win awards. We just wanted to tell a story that hopefully some people would respond to.
I hope you win, because it's good marketing for our show. It classes it up. We'll be able to put like fucking starring Eisner Award winner Mark Bernardin.
Fair enough. I'll win it for you, Kev.
Featuring Kevin Smith. Like afterwards, you'll take the lead. The ceremony, you ever been to it, the Eisners?
I was there once. I was a judge a long while ago, and so I went to the Eisners. It's always nice to be in the company of comic book legends and comic book heroes of mine and talented people. It's a long night though, so I'm gonna strap in. I might get myself some Moobies grub before I leave.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
My
Are you gonna liquor up? Are you gonna be drunk for this?
I'm gonna try not to be drunk for this, because on the off chance that we do win, I gotta go and give a speech. And
It'd be
nobody
amazing if you gave a drunk speech at the Eisners. Fuck everybody!
Did you prep? Do you have a little?
Yeah,
I
did
have
you write a speech?
I did not write a speech. Who the fuck am I? You know
Gotta
what I'm
be
gonna do?
prepared.
I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna punch Chris Rock in the face.
That'll make the news.
I know. Did you just punch a dude in the face? Well, yeah, that's what you do when you win.
That's such a good point. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up and let Mark go do his thing. And soon we're about to start Jay and Silent Bob Get Old with Jason Mewes. However, I know it wasn't planned for a lot of you. A lot of you were just here eating, and suddenly a fucking show happened. Did you have a good time this evening? We can't thank you enough for being here, man. But there is no show without the guy sitting next to me. Give it up for marvelous Mark Bernardin.
Thank you, Kev.
And that is Fat Man Beyond's update for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Do we do it at the same time?
Same fat
Same
time.
time.
Oh my God, we could literally say it. We're going to be back tomorrow doing it the same fat time and the same fat channel. But for now, that's Fat Man Beyond, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Mark Bernardin.
Tune in tomorrow, same fat time, same fat channel, smartcast.com or
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.
Jeff's Kiss, everybody. Mwah! Enjoy Comic-Con.
This is the Cat. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the AKA Ask Kev Anything. Every saga has a 10-year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what happens when Jay and Silent Bob get old. I'm Kevin Smith. Kissing you!